Okay, so we have our blank model here. Where do we start? Well, we need cameras, we need lighting. We also need to make sure we're set to VRay as our renderer. Let's make sure render is set to VRay right here in our render settings. I have VRay 5 Update 2, which is the one I highly recommend. But other VRays will also work. In order to really follow along with this course and get the most out of it, you will need a VRay version that has VRay Cosmos, which comes with VRay 5. Okay, otherwise you'll be stuck just using my models, which you could still make some really cool renderings with. We're going to go beyond that. VRay Cosmos right here is going to be a huge part of what we're doing here. I'm really excited about Cosmos, and I've talked about it in a lot of different courses and lectures. The reason is because now I can teach and show you and use all these assets to do my teaching, and you guys all have access to it as well. So it's a huge advantage for the teacher-student relationship because I don't have to buy stuff that I can't give to you because it's not mine. I'm just buying it, basically licensing it, but I don't have the right to give it to you commercially, right? But with this VRay stuff, everything I have access to, you will have access to as well. Okay, so I gave you all the models that I made myself that I can give away, and now there's all these other models and materials and HDRIs that VRay also gives. So as students, you can use the exact same stuff that I am using. There's no longer a disconnect between what I'm showing and what you have access to. So this is great. You want access to Cosmos, make sure that's up and running, and you will have all these 3D models at your fingertips, and we'll see how to use all this stuff. But, there's accessories and decorations, appliances, tableware, lighting, okay? And then there's actual lighting like HDRIs, day, evening, studio. So in the past, I've always used No Emotion HDRs as a website and told students, hey, there's all these free HDRIs here. You can go and download these and import them into your scene and use them. Well, now what's really awesome is VRay has integrated them in directly. So these are actually the No Emotion HDRs. The same ones I've been referring students to for years are now available inside of VRay. And all you have to do is download it and import it into your scene, which we will demonstrate and see. Okay, so Cosmos is a huge deal. We're going to use that, and we're going to also use the VRay material library, which has been available for several versions of VRay now. But if you click on it, you will see that there's a bunch of additional materials in here that are super useful, right? Okay, so these are all available for free with VRay as well. So just using these materials, we could probably fill out the entire scene. Okay, so these are available too, and we will use some of them. Okay, so that's a big part of what we're going to do here. We need to get lighting, and we need to get a camera. So that was just a little more overview of where we're going to go with Cosmos and the VRay material library. Let's go into the next lecture, and we'll put in our first light with Cosmos and our first, well, there's already lights in here. We'll put in our first exterior light, our environment light, with an HDRI using Cosmos. And we will also put in our first camera and get rolling.